In this segment of the video, I'm going to be sharing a bit of the process. I'm not the best at filming the sewing stuff because I'm always just like, I just want to go. I want to just focus, get it done, especially because with my toddler, like your window of opportunity isn't always very long for doing that type of work. But in the spirit of 1940s, of vintage, of the war era, it was about, being resourceful and what's that saying? Make do, use it up, repurpose. I don't know the saying. Somebody tell me the saying. But it's about being resourceful. So one of the things that I've come to do over the years is I've really just been making this pattern in the past year. But I started sewing, when I first started sewing, I would buy really nice fabric, new from the store, which is great. It's fine. They still make fabric. It has to be used, I guess. But I started to find just so many beautiful, most of them vintage sheets at the thrift store. And you could get a sheet for $2, $4. At max, I've spent maybe $6 for a queen double-size bed sheet. If you buy one queen or double-size sheet, I am able to make a full, granted, I don't make my dresses with sleeves really anymore, dress, even though I usually have enough fabric that you probably could make even with a sleeve. Dress from a single bed sheet. So I came to discover this particular pattern. It was like I modified it from a blouse pattern. I first used it as when I was making some maternity dresses for myself when I was expecting my daughter, because with the blouse cut, there's a lot of extra room and fabric in the top piece. But then after I was pregnant, I was looking for dresses that would be, nursing friendly, dresses that would also just be comfortable, because now you're a mom, now you're picking up babies and you're standing up, lying down, sitting, like you have a lot of movement happening. So I was looking for comfortable, but also, feminine, something that would fit nice and still, not look unkempt. So I decided to take that same blouse pattern, keep a button front so that it's, is easily nursing friendly. You can just undo the buttons and nurse if you need to. And then I just, like nice long gathered skirts. I find them really pretty. It feels like you're wearing a blanket most of the time. They're very comfortable. And then what I decided to do is I do an elastic at the waistband. So that will then, gather up all that extra fabric to make it form-fitting and feminine, but you have that room, like, especially because then I was also trying to think of dresses that would be even maternity friendly, like if you became pregnant. I was hoping, to become pregnant again, so that with, the elastic and that extra kind of room, like you have room to be able to change sizes. Like when I first started sewing, I was making, pin tucked bodice darts, very sewn in sleeves. Like you put those dresses on and you have good posture, but you don't have tons of range of motion and there's really no room for fluctuation. And I was just realizing, like, if I'm now in like my childbearing era, that stage, that I wanted, a really kind of versatile dress. This is being very long-winded, so hopefully I'll maybe show clips of the sewing over it. But yeah, I've pretty much landed on this pattern. I make it without sleeves because then in the summertime, it's a very nice cut that I can wear it outside as like a short sleeve dress. In cooler months, I love just pairing it with cardigans. I wear a dress, I just have to pick a dress, and I just have to pick a cardigan. Like that is the extent of me thinking about an outfit these days. Pick a dress, pick a cardigan, and I've got a well-made outfit. So yeah, in cooler months, I'll put on cardigans, or even in the summer months, you know, you can put a blouse over it. Even the way that it's, you know, cut, you can do like a, what would it be called? Kind of like a dirndl style, where you put the blouse under it and then put the dress over it, which I featured in my Heidi video. I styled one of my dresses that way. So all that to say, now that it's fall, a lot of my dresses are very pastel, like summery feeling dresses, and I'm wanting a couple that will look more warmer toned, like nice in the fall and winter. So I found this, and this is where like the vintage 1940s comes in. You're being thrifty, you're being frugal, you're paying $4 or $5 for all the fabric you need to make a dress, and then you wear that dress. Like I should go count them. I think I have 8 or 9 now of this exact, I make the same dress over and over again, of this exact dress, but in different colors, different patterns, so I can pick what I feel like wearing that day, but then I wear them. Like I'll wear the same dress for a few days in a row if it doesn't get dirty. These dresses like have gotten so much wear out of them because I only have, you know, less than 10. And then I just keep wearing them. I don't care that I wear the same outfit over and over again. I feel like I'm just a cartoon character and I've got my set outfit and I feel comfortable. I feel confident that the outfits and the clothes look good on me. So I have no intent on changing it. And yeah, I love giving these vintage linens a new life because a lot of times I don't know how many people buy the vintage linens for their actual bed. I know there's that creator Poppy Lou Clothing who always shows like picking out thrifted fabrics from the bedding section and making new clothes. This is way too long for a video. Oh my gosh. I've just wanted to talk about this for so long. But all that to say, I found this gorgeous sheet at the thrift store. It's this like slightly off-white, like ivory color, but it's like a warm color. And then this beautiful dusty pink rose pattern with the brown leaves. It is so my color because my downstairs living room color is dusty rose. So yeah, can you just imagine that as a beautiful fall dress? I can. So yeah, I'm maybe gonna just take a few shots of me doing the process. Since I talked for so long, I don't want to make it too drawn out. But I don't know, how do they do transitions? I should be like this, and then, you know, next time you see me, I'll be wearing the dress. I just want to quickly share my tip for sewing on buttons since I've done so many button front dresses now. When I first started sewing buttons on, I would, you know, tie a knot on my thread, and then, you know, go up through the button, down in and around and all that kind of stuff. But I inevitably would have a button that would come to fall off after, you know, various wears. So what you can see hopefully that I'm doing here is rather I don't knot the thread. I instead put the needle up through the placement, back through the button, and draw it back to the other side, and then I knot the thread with both the needle side and the tail side. I double knot it on the back of the fabric, and then I go, you know, twice over and through the button again to secure it, and then I stitch down the tail with another double knot, and this makes me not lose my buttons anymore. I hope that helps.
night for singing. The moon is flying high, and somewhere a bird who is bound he'll be heard is throwing his heart at the sky. It's a and you were something to see. I know what I like, and I liked what I saw, and I said to myself, that's for me. A lovely morning, I to agree. You wanted to walk, and I nodded my head as I breathlessly said, that's for me.
So, welcome back to my sewing and crafting room. In this segment of the video, I'm going to be bringing you along with me as I kind of do up my girl guiding bag. So I know that technically Molly and, you know, in the Molly stories, they weren't part of Girl Scouts. There's Girl Scouting is the term in the States, and Girl Guides is the term used up in Canada. But I thought that it was still very much kind of the essence of the vintage feelings, was that can-do attitude, learning new skills, being a part of your community, which is something that Girl Scouting and Girl Guiding does. Plus, I love just the whole vintage aesthetic of vintage guiding and vintage scouts. So I myself started being a guide leader last year. I used to be in Girl Guides as a little girl and really enjoyed it, and was looking for a way to give back to my community and also just have some experience with older children whilst I'm in kind of the throngs of toddlerhood and stuff. But what I'm talking about is I picked up this really cute, kind of, I guess you'd call it a book bag. It's like a canvas navy blue book bag from a garage sale. The lady literally gave it to me because she was cleaning up what was left over. And it's navy blue, and our guiding uniform color is navy blue. So it already came with this really cute flower patch on it, and it's got just enough room to, you know, hold my materials, my notebook, my guiding hat, like take anything essential I need with me to meetings as a leader or when we go out on outdoor meetings. I've already put some of my guiding pins here on the strap. I think this is like a guider pin. This is a spark pin, one of my absolute favorites. My 9-year pin and a Quebec pin. But yeah, I'm just going to be, hopefully, I have some just like regular patches. I picked these up at the Dollar Tree, and I also have a bunch of my badges from last year that I earned. That's kind of fun thing as a leader too. You get to make earn badges. So there's some really cute ones that I think would maybe be nice, like added onto the front of the bag here. And yeah, I also picked up this little cutie. I think she's from like the Thai Beanie Baby Kids line. She's like the miniature version, and she comes with this little keychain. And just like to add her as like an accessory to my bag, because she looks in her blue like she could be a little guider too. So yeah, I think it's always fun to personalize your items, customize them, and just make a fun time of it. So yeah, let's see how it turns out. was a little guiding related project I did last year, is I printed off the first original girl guiding handbook written by Lord Baden-Powell, because you can just like find it on the internet. And I spent some time learning how to like print it off and then how to bookbind. I think the technique called like Japanese something, like you can kind of see my stitches in there. And then I added like a book cover. Yeah, because I wanted to be able to include this, you know, old school knowledge in my guiding. And these are a couple other books I have. This when I was a guide, so like, I don't know, 15 years ago. It's not the same program anymore, and I kind of miss it because I think that these were really like well thought out challenges and badges that you could do, but I wanted to keep the book for like the but I kept it because I thought it like could be a really cool homeschooling resource, because like, yeah, you want to cover the topic of ecology, then this, you know, it gives you like a whole list of activities and stuff you can do, so you could like have your own personal, you know, scouting, girl guiding, homeschool course, and just, you know, this at least is like giving you the outlines. I love kind of stuff that's already spelled out for you, you know, and you don't have to go searching for it. And then I also have this, I think it's like a 60s or 70s Boy Scouts book, 1990 it says actually. And so this just also has a bunch of like, you know, good information if you're wanting to cover like outdoor skills, survival skills, yeah, just the original kind of spirit of scouting and guiding. And yeah, I love having just like resource books that you can sit and flip through and read. And yeah, I hoped you liked this little oops, got it at the thrift store, peek into some guiding stuff, even though I know it's not canonical to Emily Bennett or Molly McIntyre's story, but I think that it's still a cool vintage tradition to get a peek into. I just want to quickly read this blurb in the original girl guiding book about what girl scouting is, if you aren't familiar with it. Girl guiding has a double meaning. To some, it means the fun of playing the games of the Girl Guides. To others, the fun of playing the game in guiding girls. Our desire in producing this guide scheme is to offer help to parents, teachers, and patriots who may care to avail themselves of it when it comes to the duty of training girls. The object of the guide training is to give our girls, whatever may be their circumstances, a series of healthy and jolly activities which, while delighting them, will afford them a course of education outside the school in 4 particular lines of which there is the greatest need. 1. Character and intelligence, through games, practices and activities, and honors and tests for promotion. 2. Skill and handcraft, encouraged through badges for proficiency. 3. Physical health and hygiene, through development up to standard by games and exercise designed for the purpose. 4. Service for others and fellowship, through daily good turns, organized public service, etc. So, yeah, like that's the spirit that I love, like what was originally the spirit behind guiding. And yeah, for that age, like Girl Guides, the guide age group is ages 9 to 11, and all the American girls are, you know, 9 turning 10 in most cases. So exactly the age range that I'm dealing with when I'm a guide leader. So yeah, I feel very inspired that this very well could have been a thing that the American girls were partaking in. So this is the portion of the video where I get to share the inspired doll for this video's theme. She is, I guess, technically a literary character because she was featured in the Pleasant Company Molly McIntyre series, who is our 1944 war girly. So yeah, the story behind, I don't have a Molly McIntyre doll, though I think she is super adorable and I love her 40s styled collection, but it just so happened to work out. I always thought Emily was, you know, really cute, but not a doll that I would have like sought out, you know, to pay for shipping and everything like that. And it just so happened that I was on Facebook, and then in the Canadian doll group, someone posted an Emily doll, and she said, available for shipping or pick up in my city in the next week. And I was like, no way, there's like never dolls, nice dolls in my city. Like, it just felt kismet that it was an Emily doll and she was in my city. And for, I think, a reasonable price, even though she didn't come clothed. So I met up, I looked at the doll, I loved her. So I brought her home. She is our vintage girly, representing Molly McIntyre and her friends. She, you know, is a British girl. She's come over to live with Molly to escape the air raids in Britain. And I'm just gonna pull her into view. Here is my Emily doll. And the secret with this Emily doll is that I made her a meat dress because, like I said, she came nude. And I find it's difficult to find her meat dress like without the doll. There was one opportunity in the buy sell group that I just missed out on. I like just got Emily and someone else had already claimed she was selling the whole outfit, even with the cardigan. Sorry, you gotta look at the camera, Emily. But oh, here she is. First, she's an adorable doll. I love the blue eye. The light blue eye gets me on these dolls. It's probably my favorite eye color that you can get. But I will show some clips on the fact that I am so proud of this. I altered the pattern and, you know, figured out how to make this dress all by myself. I didn't buy a pattern. I just looked at Emily's meat dress and I did it. This was a fabric that it's not 100% matched. Like, hers has cherries on it and stuff, but I actually almost like this fabric better. It looks a bit more realistic, like that, you know, you wouldn't be wearing cherries or something. But I found this locally at one of my fabric stores, and she's got some adorable, she's borrowing Felicity's socks and the cute Mary Janes that were also featured on Alice. And she's got a red ribbon in her hair, her nice little collar, and her, I've never been so proud of a doll outfit before as that I made, you know, that I put together, as I am with Emily. And this was sash that I made with some fabric that I found over at my mom's house. I'm sorry, this angle's like really bad. I'm not filming in the sewing room because the lighting is over here at the moment when I want to film. But yeah, this is her. I'm gonna stop the film and I'm going to put on her sweater. So as you may have heard in my making my fall dress segment that I am like a dress and a cardigan girly. So I always loved the look of Emily's dress and her cardigan, but the cardigan even seems more hard to find. And why are there not just more cardigans? Can even just American Girl release more factory made cardigans? Because to get that, you know, small machine knit, it doesn't really happen if you're hand knitting unless you're very skilled. But I happen to have, it's not like a perfect replica, but I happen to have this little sweater, which technically was newborn sized until I unfortunately, I think, ran it through a warm water bath and it totally shrunk up. And I thought that I was just gonna like have to toss it, or that, yeah, I'd save it for like a baby doll. But yeah, I've thrown it on Emily and I think it kind of gives that effect of her cardigan. Like it's just one of those more like oversized sweaters that she gets to wear and be really cozy in those, you know, American winters. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed getting to see Emily. I'm so happy with this doll. I love 1940s vintage. I probably relate to it the most in terms of everyday style and lifestyle and things like that. So yeah, she's been a really nice addition to my collection, and I love how her dress turned out. And yeah, I'll show another like clip I took of her just kind of full standing so you can have a better view of her full outfit. But I hope that you enjoyed getting to see her.